Despite women having a life that is more comically on easy mode than it has ever been at any point in history, they are also more depressed and anxious than any other time in history. Women are now twice as likely to be diagnosed with depression or anxiety as a man. And you might say, oh, well, women seek more help. They're just more likely to go to a therapist. That could be the reason. True, fair enough. But take a look at this.
Hey guys, back to the video in just a few seconds, but first, I had to share these amazing results that I've been having on dating apps using 100% fake AI generated photos. Every single girl that you're seeing on screen right now, I matched with on Bumble using, yes, fake AI photos. And here are the photos on the screen right now that I used. And before you rush to the comments and want to say something dumb like, oh, I could kind of tell that they were fake. I know that you can't tell that they're fake because I'm lying to you. I'm showing you a mixture of both real photos and AI photos, and I bet you can't tell the difference of which is which. And I've done well on the dating apps even before with real photos, but ever since I put AI photos on there into the mix, the results have been absolutely insane, as you were seeing. And not only can I now be super lazy, I don't have to do photo shoots anymore in real life, but I can now get access to backdrops I never could before, such as being on a private jet or some insane looking baller Airbnb. And no, I know what you're thinking. Both the dating app platforms and Instagram cannot tell that these are AI and they will not get you banned. So if you want some of these for yourself, just check out the link in the video description. It's also in the first pinned comment. It's the same link, and we will get back to the regular video now.
Depression rates and the prescription drugs for depression from the year 2000 to the year 2020 have seen a 50% increase, okay? And this is with more knowledge coming out. Hey, there's better treatments. These drugs aren't so good. They're addictive. They don't work that well. Even despite all this, the cat coming out of the bag that these antidepressants aren't the happy pills we thought that they were, still a 50% increase. That's nuts. That's crazy increase in over 20 years. 1 in 3 women will experience a major depressive episode in their lives. And here's an interesting one. Young women, that's a study that I found, who spend 5+ hours on social media are now 71% at higher risk for depression. Now, I forgot if I mentioned it already, but it's due to feminism and social media. This is my hot take on what is causing this drastic increase in the rise of female depression and anxiety. And it's kind of funny. I'll go off on a quick side tangent and get back to the thing. When you think about the list of what it takes to be attractive as a man. Now, being attractive doesn't guarantee you're going to be a happy person. I get that. But every book, every pop culture song, every movie is centered around or has a big element of romance and love story to it. I mean, every major motion picture, like I said, 90% of songs are about love, romance, connection, sex, something like that, okay? And when you don't have that, when you're not attractive, you can't get a good option and a good mate, it's gonna suck. So as a man, what you must do to be attractive, I don't know, be just born tall, have a shitload of money, which is something that by definition, very few people can have, because for me to be rich, there needs to be 50, 100, 10,000 brokies for every rich guy, so that proportionately his money seems like more. $1 million wouldn't be $1 million if everybody had $1 million. It would lose its value, okay? Be tall, be rich, be handsome, be charismatic, be interesting, have a sick social media, have great connections, be charismatic. That's the main ones. Be intelligent. For a woman, it's don't be a land whale. Go to the gym and work on your lower body a lot, like do a lot of squats so you have nice toned legs, nice lower body, nice ass, and don't be super annoying. Now, as a woman, of course, baby, it's your right if you want to be a little bit annoying. That was your God-given right, was to nag a little bit and just be a little fucking irritating sometimes, but just don't be that annoying. Just like most of the time with like minor episodes, but most of the time just give your man peace, suck his dick really well, maybe have something interesting to say once in a while. Don't be a total robot, but don't talk too much and you'll be good. That's literally it. And every woman, theoretically, right, maybe a few genetic outliers aside, any female could be, any person, man or woman, could just not be fat. Okay, there's nothing that says in a society, there's not like a zero-sum game where not everybody could be like physically fit and overweight. Again, there's some circumstances, but like 90% of the population could in theory be fit. But we talk about money. Money is a zero-sum game, meaning that, if it's +2 for me, it's -2 for you, so that the sum of +2 and -2 is 0. Not to go off on a tangent in defining what a zero-sum game is, but all you have to understand is that for me to be fit and thin has no effect on society at large. For me to be rich, proportionately, I need people with less than me. Like, for me to be like not fat, it doesn't matter if other people are not fat. Like everybody could not be fat, but not everybody could be rich. By definition, every woman could be at least fit, but not every man could be wealthy, which is one of the main things women look for in a long-term relationship. It may not do a whole lot in the beginning. It's more genetics and confidence and sex appeal in the beginning, but certainly for a long-term relationship, money is up there. Okay, let's talk about feminism and why this is making these women so depressed, okay? At its core, feminism teaches women to be masculine and have a generalized hatred towards men. Be masculine and harbor a generalized hatred towards men. So being masculine and taking you out of your femininity is a big one. We'll talk about the generalized hatred of men in a second, but ultimately, few outliers aside, when men are behaving in a masculine way, when men are connected to their masculine energy, and women are connected to their feminine energy, we play the game on like co-op mode, like the game of life is like a cooperation mode. We complement each other, yin and yang, we balance each other out. And ultimate happiness for a woman comes from embracing this natural feminine desire of being nurturing, soft, loving, and submissive, okay? It is outside of whatever, 90, 95% of women's natural inborn instincts to be the boss babe, to be the leader, to go out with your, metaphorically these days, to go out with your spear and hunt and have all the stress and all the burden of everything, all success riding on your shoulders to come up with the action plan. This is why one of the least attractive things you can do as a man is when you're on your first date, you pick up the girl in your car. She's like, cool, so where are you taking me? Oh, I don't really have a plan. Where do you like to go? Ugh, even the boss babes know it. They want to turn their brain off and they want to let the man take the lead. They want to relax. It's not in a woman's nature, like I said, to be problem solving and stressed out and overthinking like a man. And to illustrate that, we're going to react to a TikTok video, which I actually got quite a bit to say on this topic, but let's go for it.
I don't know what female needs to hear this today, but we're dating the masculine men.
Okay, we're dating the masculine men. I'll make another video about this, but women, because of groupthink and feminism, what they're trained to look for, don't even really like masculine men in the US. So they're at this kind of, what's it called, cognitive dissonance, where their genetics and their pussy may get wet to a masculine man, but so many years of college and women's study classes have made their logical brain like react like this way. So they're kind of like, this is why you see a lot of like liberal women in LA. They are on social media saying, why am I only attracted to conservative men? Because most liberal men are complete bitches. And they're in LA and these soy boy, ultra left liberals are not turning them on, but these are the guys that like they quote unquote get along with. And then the conservative guys piss them off, but they get wet for them at the same time. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so I don't really buy that this woman, really likes, masculine. Maybe she does, but we'll see. Let's continue on the point of how women do not like to be taken out of their feminine, or like taking a woman out of her natural femininity leads to a lot of irritability and unhappiness.
We're dating the masculine men. Do you know how much peace you're going to feel by dating a guy that allows you to turn your brain off when you're with him? Opens the door for you. Carries your luggage, allows you to exist in your feminine energy. Do you know feminine energy is the most powerful energy in the world?
Kind of a weird take, but okay.
I always thought I'm a strong, independent woman, and I was always existing in my masculine energy. Now, I exist in my feminine energy. I receive. I let him take care of me. I let him provide. I don't want to lead the way.
Let him lead, let him provide. First of all, interesting choice of words. And this woman, I mean, let's be honest, she's like a certified, what are we calling her? Like a 4? She's clearly in her mid to late 30s. Not super good looking. We don't really know what her body looks like, but her face is not super good looking. But let's continue.
I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to use my brain every second. I want to relax. I want to be peaceful. We bring way too much to the table to also be leading the way.
But you see that the inborn feminism, we bring too much to the table. What do you bring to the table? Your man, and then you're gonna see her man. Her man, let's start, no homo, we're gonna look at him in a second, is better looking than you. No diddy, no homo. taller than you. I guarantee you she even said, like, I let him provide for me. So he's taller than you, better looking than you, no homo, makes more money than you do. He's a leader of the relationship. So you let him lead, like that's what you provide. And she says this whole thing, like, I used to be my masculine energy, but now I met this great guy and I'm in my feminine. Let's look at the guy again, no Diddy, no homo, all that stuff. I'm gonna mute it if I can.
I said the real success.
But again, yeah, like this dude's a fucking Chad. I mean, no doubt about it. And again, this just kind of shows like this girl, she looks a little bit better there, right? But clearly she has like the Botox face, a lot of makeup. Her guy, I mean, judging on how much hair he has, he looks younger than her. He looks about 28. She looks about 36. Good on her for going way, way, way out of her league. And that's another side tangent. This is kind of why dating is so rough in the United States, because unlike other parts of the world, yeah, dude, like no Diddy, but what the fuck, dude? This certified 4, and again, yeah, how my boyfriend gets 10x darker than me on our Hawaii trip. So aside from being tall and handsome, he's rich and he's with you, and you think you bring more to the table than this man? And her saying like, oh, I used to be my masculine, but I'm in my feminine. Bullshit. I highly doubt that. It's like I've heard, other people talk about, you can't be in your masculine frame on Monday, you're feminine on Tuesday, you're with a soft guy on Wednesday, so you perk up and you be the masculine presence on Wednesday. Then you be really alpha guy on Thursday, you're back to feminine. It doesn't work like that. Again, that's like me, like, well, when I'm with these friends, my way of being, my energy that I output to the universe is just kind of like this. And then with my other friends, I'm the motherfucking boss and I dictate shit. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You're either feminine or you're masculine, and you can't be both despite your best efforts. Okay, let's get back to brass tacks. So single career women end up playing the game on 1-player mode rather than 2-player mode, as we talked about this. And I'll say this again very briefly. When you put the genders at war with each other, and make no mistake, in the West, advertising companies and mainstream media, college campuses, etc., have put a war between men and women. I think it all started from like those Lysol commercials where they always play the man as the inept idiot, like, oh, I'm the man and I made a stain and I can't get the stain out, but mom comes to the rescue with new lemon pine sol, whatever, and it cleans the fucking ground or whatever. And like, sitcoms, like, the Simpsons, Family Guy, that the man is always like, I love Simpsons and I love Family Guy, but let's be honest, I always portray the man as like this inept idiot and the woman's all like, virtuous and better and smarter and stuff. And you talk to people from other countries. One of my professors in college was like, yeah, that was the biggest culture shock of coming to the United States. It's like seeing mainstream media, commercials, television shows, sitcoms, where, the man is always this fat, piece of shit, dumb, inept, and the woman's always like the bright, intelligent one. But when we're not playing the game together, men and women, we both are unhappy. The next thing is groupthink. I want to go over this very, very quickly. You might think, well, so how is it so easy to brainwash people? Why are people all interested, or women all the way, they all adopt feminism? Practically, there are some genetic predispositions for people who are more susceptible to groupthink versus others. What groupthink is, by the way, I'll define it, is basically conformity within the group for whatever reason. Even if you're so conform, you're so under groupthink that you think that the group's ideas are actually your own, or if you internally know that the group's ideas are kind of bullshit, but you go along with it anyway. So they've done studies where there'll be actors in a lab, and they'll say things, and there'll be one like actual participant who's like they're being experimented on, but the person in this lab, in this research lab, thinks that everyone else is like, under an experiment as well, but they're actually like 10 actors, and then the 11th person is the only actual test subject. And he'll be like, all right, so first question for the lab is, what color is this plant? And then they'll go around the room and they'll be like, oh, it's red, 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 red. And then the 11th person's like, oh shit, I was gonna say green, it really does look green, but because everybody else said red, I'm going to say red. And they'll do the most retarded shit. They'll say like, a circle is a square, or they'll like, there's one famous one in 1951, the study I referenced here, where they show them like 3 lines, and one line is like clearly the long line and one is short. And then the actors give the intentional wrong answer. And it says 75% of the participants, not for every question, but at one point or another, gave a clearly wrong answer just to go along with the group. So that's why it's so easy to kind of brainwash women. And like, you have, we're going to talk about influencers in a second on social media. That's the next topic. But whether it's, from their college universities are one of the biggest proponents of feminism, modern day feminism. So whether it's, from college campuses, whether it's from TV shows, whether it's from mainstream media, whether it's from the news, people in general, but especially women, are very susceptible to groupthink, and it's pretty easy to get them to go along with anything you want. Now, the next thing, social media. So I want to talk about something first. These are not my findings or my beliefs. Gratitude is the ultimate key to happiness. This has been studied by, Confucius and the Buddha and, ancient civilizations from all the way from like the Babylonians to ancient Chinese and Egyptian civilizations. Again, like, better thinkers than me, the Buddha, Marcus Aurelius, have all come to this conclusion. Just take my word for it, take their word for it, that ultimately gratitude, if you're missing a leg, you're ultimately thankful that you have at least 1 leg and 3 arms. If you don't have XYZ, you're at the least, you express gratitude for the things you have, and you're not constantly comparing yourself to other people. You're not focusing your selective focus on the things you don't have and the negative things. Look, my Instagram account is banned right now, right? A 10K a month producing asset. I could choose to wake up and be pissed off, and I'm going to get it back anyway, but it's been down for like more than a week now. I could choose to be angry and depressed and think about this 24/7 and lose sleep over it. Or I could just say, hey, I'm working on it. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm at least grateful that I have a YouTube channel. I'm at least grateful that I'm partnered with some big people. I have good affiliates, me and Fresh from the Fresh and Fit podcast. Walter was I call him. I don't call him Fresh. You guys call him Fresh. We're doing some stuff together. We're, making money, breaking bread together, and so much other opportunity, right? Now, with women, they have trouble expressing gratitude because groupthink and the feminism thing has made them think that they all deserve these, what I call it, like, the 6'5" millionaire, right? They all think they deserve a 6'5" millionaire. And because they live on social media, they don't understand that you're inside of an algorithm that was made by nerds, by tech nerds with an IQ of 180, that it was designed to show you the sexiest, smartest, funniest, most charismatic men, people, women as well, in the universe. They don't get that. And what your brain sees is why, like visualizing, like for, a MMA fighter, like visualizing you winning the fight, or in basketball, visualizing you winning the tournament, acting as if you already won. The power of belief and visualization, what your brain sees on a day-to-day basis, it's very hard to disconnect that. It's very hard to do, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of scrolling time, and everybody you watch is well-groomed and articulate. And by the way, has a filter, a goddamn, TikTok, when you just film on the TikTok camera, it doesn't tell you this. It's touching up your appearance in real time. It's kind of a hack. Like if you want to, record a selfie video to send to a girl, record that shit on the TikTok camera. Guaranteed you will look, 10 times sexier than you would just like your regular selfie camera. But women don't get this. Now, because of this, they become very indignant when they have to find a guy to date on their level. I'm going to play another. We're going to react to another TikTok. Let's react to this one right here.
I'm 31 and I've
Okay, so
chosen to remain single at the moment, and my dad.
She said she's 31 and she's chosen to remain single, but she actually has chosen in a way to remain single. Now, I'm going to try to get a pause on her face right now. As we'll watch, you can tell, even despite being 31 years old, again, there's filters. She's in natural sunlight. This is a beautiful girl, right? Again, she's not beautiful to me. I don't care what you think. And by and large, by society standards, most guys would think that this is a very attractive woman. And just to reiterate, she said she's 31. She's chosen to stay single. And her dad has, brought up a point. Let's see what dad had to say.
He said, "Don't you think that the older that you're getting a little too picky?"
Yes. Yes, your dad is right. Listen to your dad. But again, she has a problem with male authority. She's a feminist. She's a modern woman, etc. So she doesn't like hearing that from her dad. Even though he's my dad and he's pointing out the blatantly obvious, like, girl, you're 31. Like, and again, imagine looking like this girl. And we can't tell what her body looks like, but she's, at least like not over. We can't tell she has big titties and a perfect ass. If she just go to the gym, whatever, maybe get a minor cosmetic procedure. If she had a flat ass, get a fat transfer. This woman could be like a fucking 8.5 or 9. I mean, she's really, really hot, right? For you to arrive at the age of 31, she, well-spoken. She doesn't look like she doesn't have like Tourette's or any weird tics going on. For you to arrive at this age, if we made a Bumble account for this woman, she would have 999 likes within an hour of getting on the app, on the free version. And you're telling me there's no one who's in your DMs, no one who flirts with you in person, no one. But let's see maybe what her standards are. Let's dive into this more.
Paused. That was a valid question, and so I answered thoughtfully. I have standards, and they're not high standards. I wouldn't even call them that. They're just my standards.
They're not high standards. So she thinks she has like average or maybe even like low standards, and you're beautiful and you can't get a guy.
I don't think I'm asking for something from a man that I can't give myself. I've spent years in therapy trying to become a better person, journaling, reading books, listening to podcasts, and I expect the same of my partner, someone that is
you expect me to journal and go to therapy. That's what I've been doing wrong my whole life.
Emotionally intelligent and self-aware enough to do work on themselves. I'm not asking for something I'm not giving. I have taken so many years to get an education, to build a career for myself, and I am at a disadvantage in comparison to a man. I am more of a minority than a man is. So if you start off with the upper hand, to me, there should be no excuse as to why you can at least meet me where I am financially.
See, there's the internalized hatred, right? There's the internalized feminism. Life is so hard. It's oppressed me. You started the race 10 miles ahead of me, and I had a 10-mile, disadvantage in the race. Really? Because women dominate college campuses. Women dominate the job market these days. I don't know what universe you're talking about where it's, and here's the thing, right? My friend sends me this. I don't really follow, too many like old, like random bimbos from like high school or anything like that on my Facebook, but my buddy will send me, this is a pretty common thing. Women will like post like, it'll be like a 5. It'll be like a bathroom mirror selfie of a girl in a bikini who's like a 5'31", and she'll be like, hey guys, it's my birthday. Send me birthday wishes. Oh, and I've attached my Cash App. This is like a solid 5 somewhere in like Houston, Texas, who's getting simps. Like, this is not the first time she's posted her Cash App, right? For you to think your life is at a disadvantage, you walk into a room and any man in that room is willing to give you attention, resources, and all of his love. You apply for a job and you're going to get it over the man because everyone wants, the pretty girl to work at the office. I mean, anything you want. You want to learn a foreign language, date a guy who speaks that language. You want to learn commercial real estate, and go to a real estate meetup and date any guy in the room, even if he's married, because he'll still fucking have you. Like, what the fuck? Like, you want a mentor, like anything you want. If you want to be in the south of France, go make a seeking arrangement account. Go answer those guys in your DMs. You'll be in the south of France on a fucking yacht. I don't know, whatever. Let's continue.
I don't think I'm asking for something I'm not willing to give. There are so many things I can go on and on about. I don't think I'm picky. I think at the age of 31, I have gone through my trials and tribulations enough to know myself, to be confident in who I am, what I bring into someone else's life, and I just want them to be able to meet me where I am, if not better, because that way they inspire me to be better. And I don't expect a flawless person because I am not a flawless person. And that makes—
Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking do. Because again, you cannot be that beautiful, that well-spoken. And you know what it is, right? The only reason why men actually break up with women is because they're irritating and they add no value to their life other than their vagina. That's really pretty much the only reason. It's a big red flag, kind of a tangent. It's a big red flag when a woman says, America, Brazil, claim it doesn't matter. When a woman says, oh, these days, or, this is my hot take on men, is that they'll tell you all these sweet things. They do whatever they can to get into your pants. And then the second they bang you, they're off. Now, If a 5 says that, okay, fair enough. Some guy who's like, pretty good looking guy, just wants, some easy access to an easy pussy. He'll tell her what she wants to hear. He will tell her what she wants to hear. He'll bang her out. And he's like, I want hotter bitches. But if you look like this girl, or you're a beautiful girl in general, I have never met the guy that's so much of a player that's like, oh my God, I met this girl that's beautiful and she sucks dick really well and she's so interesting and she's actually entertaining. After I bust a nut, I actually like her to stay around. We have interesting conversations. She doesn't irritate me at all. She likes when I take the lead. She's very submissive and docile and fun to be around. And I think I mentioned this, but she's already, really intelligent and beautiful. And, she helps me on my business. But there's like, little like bullshit tasks like, customer service or replying to emails. She could even help with that. But I'm on to the next one. I'm a dog. Woo, woo, woo. We up, boys. Yeah, single boy, like city boys. We up. Fuck that bitch. On to the next one. Like, no, I never met that guy. I met the guy that stuck in there, stayed in the pocket, did what he had to do to bang some like 9. This bitch was fucking psychotic, bipolar, weird, annoying, and he got the fuck out of there and couldn't be around her to fuck her. So that's another one. I think I had another one that I wanted to react to as well. Oh yeah, this one too. We're gonna go through it pretty quickly. We don't need to listen to her whole thing.
Being happy, it's not.
I am currently
Okay, so she's
really
crying.
Whenever I even get the tiniest glimpse of hope, just the tiniest, it immediately disappears.
She's talking about dating, right? I fast forward. She's like, oh, when I get the tiniest glimmer of hope. If she didn't already mention this, she's going to talk about how she'll get ghosted after first dates.
Like, oh, I went on a second date with somebody else and connected with them, and I want to try to pursue that. You were great, though. You were great.
And she's saying like, this is the guys tell her like, hey, you were great, but I don't want to go on a second date.
But I was just second in line, I guess. And every time I say, that's okay, because what's meant for me will find me. I truly believe that. But it's really hard to continue to stay hopeful and positive when just nothing works out.
When this first came across my feed and I was saving it to my collections of videos to react to in the future, the whole time I'm thinking, your problem is your standards. Your problem is your standards. Lower your standards. You're ugly. You're not that attractive. You sound really, really annoying. Lower your standards. You don't deserve a 6'5", charismatic billionaire with 150 IQ and a yacht. Just, perfect jawline, perfect muscles. You don't deserve it. And the thing is, this girl could get like, remember in the first video with like the older, like 36-year-old girl that was with that 28-year-old hunk? Like, dude, she can get a good guy. The problem is, we're going to go over this in a second, what the influencers are getting on social media, the influence they're getting from other influencers on social media. But let's just wrap this up.
Like nothing. And I'm not going to settle. I don't want to lower my standards or accept less than I deserve because I would rather be alone. But
I don't want to lower my standards. I'd rather be alone than get less than what I deserve. Oh boy, so much unpack. Again, this girl, I don't think she looks as bad when she's like not crying and stuff. So I'll just mute this, but let's just take, I don't know, this one where she looks the best. So this is like the heaviest filter or something like that. Yeah, here's her Bumble profile. Kind of a misleading, kind of a catfish photo, but let's just see like her in real life. Again, she's 39 years old, right? So let's imagine, which is, whoa, wow. How did you not? I don't get how you could be born with a vagina between your legs and let that opportunity slip past you. There is no like 15 master's degrees. If I had a master's degree, like, I don't know, law degrees don't come in like master's degrees, but whatever, like a law degree and then like a master's in like environmental sciences and blah, 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 blah. And I had like, the most specialized thing that I could do for some company or whatever, because I had, 15 degrees. You put me in this 39-year-old woman's body with a like working pussy. That pussy is more valuable than any, degree, any university title, any type of education. She will outperform. And again, how did you get here? I believe she said she was 39, right? Did I just make that up? Yeah, Ashley, 39 here. So she probably looked pretty good when she was in her early 20s and 30s. Good enough. Again, even Ashley at 39. If we made a Bumble, I promise you it would have 99 or 999, whatever it is, the max, like, max out number of likes within an hour. Any woman that's not like a horrible swamp, actually, even the swamp monsters would have that much. So I don't have these unrealistic standards. Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking do. This whole like, oh, only like the top 15% of men get attention. That's fucking bullshit. From like attractive women, it's the top 4 or 5%. And again, these women, they would legitimately, like, men are more likely to settle, right? Women, this is why, like, buy stock in cat food, buy stock in Pfizer, antidepressant. Like, these women, like, legitimately are going to grow old and lonely, and they're not going to be able to, they legitimately rather be alone. We've talked about how, the dating app algorithm shows these women the sexiest people. The same thing, social media, including, dating apps, Instagram and stuff, have made it easy for any schmuck, any old simp to simp on a girl, to click the dopamine, to click the validation lever on her, easier than ever before. Versus, like, it probably took like a certain degree of courage. Not probably, it abso-fucking-lutely takes a massive degree of courage for a man to go approach a woman, right? And a beautiful woman in 1980s, even in a large city, never mind a fucking suburb. Like, if you're a woman in 1990s America in the suburbs, the amount of guys that are going to formally go flirt with you, maybe 4 to 5 a month. No, you're going to bars and nightclubs, that's different. I just mean, in your day-to-day, right? Bars and nightclubs, yes, it could be 4 or 5 an hour. Probably men were more ballsy and more likely to approach them. But now any old simp from fucking, not even just America, India, Dubai, wherever, can just simp. Here's some money. Here's your Cash App. Here's likes. Here's comments. Here's heart eye emojis. And they eat that shit up. And that's what leads to such an inflated ego. It's like, listen, just because 19 simps simped on you doesn't mean, you're hot shit. And then, we talked about this, whether they're just simping with attention or whether they're actually simping and giving money. Like, women are just gifted money these days. Like, let that sink in. Women are gifted money literally just for existing. You see this on like streamers and stuff. If you're remotely funny and pretty, you can just play video games on Twitch and men will finance your life. I get it. Not everyone's going to be a multi-millionaire, like, what was her, Pokimane or whatever. I don't know if it's just because she has a certain look, if she, her commentary when she's playing the game is unique, if she's just one of the first people to start. But, Pokimane is like half white, half Asian chick who I forgot what she looks like, but I think she's pretty hot. I think she's pretty cute. Like multi-millionaire. And again, it's not easy, like that easy for all of us. It's probably more competitive now, but you get my point. No man is like pretty enough that he can just like play video games and stream it. And then, they're getting more desperate now. Now they're like selling like their farts in a jar. Real thing. But anyway, the other big problem with social media, besides the unrealistic standards, besides getting, 99 likes and getting, too much validation and, too many simps that's making, 39-year-old fours think that they deserve, a top level guy, and crying. Like, she uploaded a video of TikTok crying about her lack of options. Yet any one of me and my friends, I could find a legit male model, make a Tinder for him. He wouldn't have 99. He would not have as many likes as this girl. He would not have, he may get 99 likes over the course of a long time if he's like legitimately a fucking, but listen, okay, let's just take a guy who's like an 8 out of 10 or a 7. You would never make a profile of a guy who is a solid 7.5 or an 8 on Tinder and have him just get, 99 likes, girls offering to pay for his whole finance, his whole lifestyle. Now, the other thing is other female influencers are going to react to some more shit. Let's react. Oh shit, it's on mute. Let me unmute this real quick.
You're pretty. You have a car. 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 You have a job. You got your own money. He's ugly. No car. And he broke.
Okay, so just like anti-male sentiments, and then also women not understanding what makes them attractive. No one cares if you have a car. No one cares if you have your own money. No one cares if you have your own job. The men, men share their cash and prizes with women. Women do not share their cash and prizes with men. That's just the way it is. It's not sexy for a woman to support a man. For a man, it is sexy and aligns with our masculine protective nature to care for a woman, the woman that deserves it. It's not in our nature to be simps. You only provision for the women who have earned it, right? Like as if you have a car matters. Then this one, there's this woman who, like, her whole career is kind of like bashing men and I don't know, just relating to women about how your ex is so toxic, or like, watch this one right here.
If there's one thing we can learn from women, it's to never give the ugly guy a chance.
And then she just goes on to say that an ugly guy will break your heart as much as a handsome guy. First of all, who is this woman? I'm gonna put it on mute again. Who is this woman to be calling anybody ugly? She's fat. She has a double chin. She's probably in her 30s. She has a masculine, rough personality, zero charm, zero charisma. She's not funny. She's not talented. I mean, gosh, the talk about the kettle calling the pot black. Wow. Like, yeah, you had the nerve to go on and call someone else ugly. Interesting. And then there's this one right here where you see this all the time. So I'm just gonna make this one a quickie right here.
And I only want to
No
deal
side
with guys
hustles?
that's paying bills. I am a gold digger. I don't care.
I'm already doing 100% perfectly fine by myself.
Exactly. So if you want to come into my life and get my time and get my effort and my energy, you need to be offering something.
And honestly, I feel like every guy cheats. I've been cheated on, and I was paying for everything in the relationship.
And I only want to
No
deal
side
with guys
hustles?
that's paying bills.
So you hear this, on the Fresh and Fit podcast, the whatever podcast, they always say he's got to be 6'5", this and that. And then the most ridiculous one is they talk about, he's got to make, women like legitimately think money grows on trees. They don't understand 500,000, 5 million, 50 million. It's just zeros. It's just like, is there 9 zeros or 12 zeros? Like they don't really get and understand money. They just like, sure, he's got to make 500 grand a month or 50 grand a month. They don't even understand the difference. And women are seeing this on social media. Remember going back to the groupthink, right? It's so easy to control society. This is why all the craziness in 2020 happened, right? Groupthink. You can make people do things, and men and women, not just women. But back to this whole social media thing. So not only do you have women getting simped on and receiving, their dopamine is must be flooding from like all the dopamine they get from, all the attention and all the simpery from men. And again, if you've ever like catfished as a woman on social media, made like a fake Bumble or Tinder, and you selectively, like intentionally try to choose like a very ugly woman, again, it's still like 99 likes, in a matter of your first hour on the free version of the app. And like legitimately, like, quote unquote, no ditty hot guys will like, hit on you. But now on their social media, again, aside from the validation from men, they're having women in their ear, other female influencers and bloggers. He ain't shit if he under 6 feet, that's friend zone. He ain't shit if he don't earn $1 million a year. He ain't shit if he ain't paying your bills. He ain't, never date, an ugly guy. Ugly, like, first of all, we already talked about, her definition of like an ugly guy is probably like a 6. To them, like, oh, he's so ugly, he's a 6, because, whatever, they're so spoiled these days. Women telling you things like, oh, your ex is toxic, it's not your fault, baby girl. You deserve more. Queens, we up, this and that. It's okay to be promiscuous. It's okay to, dude, there's like legitimate influencers that teach you how to go on sugar daddies and like suck all the resources that you possibly can out of a guy. So between feminism and social media, it's made women so unhappy because, again, they hear the girl saying, I only date a guy that's, 7 feet tall. I only date a guy that makes $90 bajillion a month. If he ain't paying the bills, he ain't shit. I'm 31 and I have my standards and I'm not settling. Look at me, this and that. And then also just feminism, training them that, whatever. They used to say this when we were on a college campus. They used to say like, 1 in 4 women is assaulted, like assaulted by a man by the time you finish college. And that's just a lie. I mean, that's just like unbelievably, like they book like, you know, catcalling into that as like, you know, SA, like, you know, sexual assault. Yeah, it's just, you know, utter nonsense. They've been feeding them this this bullshit. So between the fact that like they have this generalized hatred for men, their standards are through the roof from the influence of feminism and social media, they're playing the game on single player mode. And the only time they want to play the game with a partner, first of all, they bat heads with its two masculine energies. And like, you know, men are becoming more bitch made these days because women are being so masculine, that they're not playing the game on co-op mode. They're playing on single player mode, alone with their fucking cats. And, you know, all these guys, if they just like lower their standards like a little bit to be a little bit more realistic and softened up and more feminine, go back to how it used to be, men and women getting along, being cooperative, relationships. But I don't know, ladies, keep popping your antidepressants, keep shopping for exotic cat breeds that you can show off on social media where you spend most of your time anyway. And sad times for men, sad times for women. You know, like it's better when we just cooperate and stuff. If you like this style of rant, if you want to see more rants like this, let me know in the comments. And that's the end of this video. Peace out, boys.